What's up everyone and welcome back to Reload Reacts episode 40. My name is Trey and today we are going to look through r/EntitledParents, the subreddit for those wonderful stories of mums or dads thinking that because they have kids, they are entitled to anything and everything. This first post is by Marossa3. My mum turned her guest room into a nursery after I told her she will never meet my child. I am currently pregnant with my first child, and both my mum and stepdad have been terrible to me and my partner the entire time. Told us we would be unfit parents because we aren't married yet, legitimately screamed at my partner for knocking up their little girl even though he planned the pregnancy. They would call him every day and harass him and showing up to his work, try to convince him to leave me so I would have no choice but to move back in with them. It got worse as time went on. I finally decided to cut contact with them. Having a child can already be a stressful time, and having them around to make it worse was not something I was okay with. My partner and I have gone through a lot with family drama over the last couple years, and having this baby has been one of the most exciting things for us. If my parents can't be nice to my partner, then they don't get to see our baby. Plus, they are the kind of people who don't wear masks in public and actively choose to be in large gatherings with no social distancing, so them seeing a newborn is out of the question. One day I sent my mum a very detailed email of why she is not allowed to be a part of my life anymore and will not be seeing a grandchild. To make things even easier, I also noted that we will be moving across the country shortly after she is born to be closer to other family members. So not only is she cut off, but we are literally moving far away and never coming back. She responds by showing up at our house at 11 PM, screaming outside our door about how it is her baby and she deserves to be there for it. I tell her to F off and eventually she leaves. Months go by and she will randomly text me asking about technical problems with her Wi-Fi router or something and needs help. Little things like that don't mean much to me and I send her the info she needs. My cousin also had a virtual baby shower and sent my invitation to my mum's house accidentally, so my mum came by to give it to me. Things slowly came to a point that we were fairly amicable with each other, but I still stood my ground about our boundaries and nothing else had changed. She knew this. Then she sends me a video today that blew my mind. She redecorated her entire guest room to be a nursery, crib, changing table, $400 worth of newborn clothes, toy chest, stroller, a car seat for her car, and the list goes on. In the video she is in tears saying, "Oh my god, I can't believe my baby is going to be here soon. This is where she will sleep, where I will change her little diapers, these will be her toys." Is she psychotic? Her baby? Sleeping and living at her house? What? So I call her up immediately and I reiterate that we are still moving across the country soon and that she will have no contact with the baby before that. Her response? "Oh okay, we will see about that." Genuinely confused. What part of "you will have no contact with this baby" does she not understand? Or thinks she will change in the next few weeks when she is born? Is she planning on stealing her from us? I'm at a loss of words. Edit. Wow, so many great tips from you guys. Thank you for the advice. I showed my partner the comments I've been getting and I think we are starting to take this more seriously and we'll be contacting a lawyer on Monday. I wanted to mention a couple things to clarify as well. I've been seeing a psychotherapist the past few months strictly due to the relationship I've had with my mother throughout my life and all of that is documented. My midwife and hospital is also very aware of the situation and the emotional stress I've been going through. So we will definitely be utilizing this in the case that she tries to sue us or call CPS. Also, due to the virus, only my partner is allowed to be with me during the birth anyway. We will be keeping things hush until after we move. We would have moved several months ago if it was financially possible for us. We also spent a lot of money on my birth center here that is non-refundable. She is due in August and our lease ends in September. We already have everything set up to move and our other family is helping us out. Just a waiting game at this point. My partner is power of attorney if something happens to me during the birth. We are currently in a state that is against grandparents' rights. The only way she would be able to sue for visitation is if both myself and my partner were deceased. Even after we move, she still cannot file for GPS if she is living in this state. Update 1. My mum tries to convince me to go on a weekend resort vacation with me and my newborn that she is not allowed to see. Backstory. My mum and I have not spoken for many months now. My entire pregnancy she was terrible to me and my partner because of that. I told her she would not be seeing her grandchild, whom she liked to call her baby. On top of that, we would be moving across the country to be closer to other family. Her response was, "We will see about that," and then proceeded to build a nursery in her room filled to the brim with baby essentials. So I gave birth about a week ago at home, and my partner and I are so happy with our new addition. We have been quarantined since the second she was born, and our pediatrician recommended for us to keep the baby home for at least 2 months to keep her safe from the virus. My mum calls me after the birth crying about how upset she is that I didn't invite her to be present for the birth and also to congratulate me on giving birth to her new baby, then asks when she can come and see her. My partner and I, along with the consult of a lawyer, agreed that my mother could see her one time through a car window, though there would be no touching or holding of any kind, just a simple viewing. So I told her this, and her response was that she would let me know when she's available, and then hasn't said a word to me a week after, which worked for me because I didn't want her to see the baby anyway. We just wanted to give her a chance. This morning I get a voicemail from her asking to go on a resort trip for the weekend. I am absolutely baffled by this. What is going on in her mind? I don't even know what to say. There is still a pandemic and we are quarantining with the baby. I literally just gave birth a few days ago. We haven't spoken in months and all of a sudden she expects me to just go on a vacation with her. She is not allowed to see the baby. Even if she just wanted me to go, I'm not leaving my newborn. I'm not taking the baby away from her father for that long just so my mum can hang out with her. We are set to move as soon as I'm cleared by my midwife. I'm not responding to my mother and I'm starting to think that she is either seriously trying to manipulate me or is just not right in the head. Probably a mix of both. I gave her a chance to see the baby on my terms and she didn't take it, so that's her loss. Yeah, wow, this person's insane. But wait, there's more. Update 2. I gave my mum one chance to see her only grandchild and she turned it down because it wasn't a good enough offer. I have a bad relationship with my mother to say the least. She has been terrible to my partner and I my entire pregnancy. I wrote an update about the things she was doing a few days ago, but I finally got a response from her regarding the one viewing we were going to allow her and I just had to post about it. Due to the virus, our pediatrician recommended that we quarantine the newborn for 2 months. My mother knew this. I told her many times. She refused to stay home, to get tested, to wear masks, or do anything really. It's her way or the highway in her mind, but not in reality, and boy did she get a wake-up call today. As of recently, I gave her the opportunity to view the baby through a car window. She seemed fine with it and said she would let me know when she was available. She was abiding to my boundaries? Quite shocking. Then 2 weeks pass and I hear nothing from her, until this morning. She asked me when she can see her baby, and that it's almost been 3 weeks and she hasn't held her. I laugh. I knew this wasn't going to happen. I tell her she is in quarantine and no one but me and her dad can touch her. That she can see her through a window or not at all. She responds, "I think I'll pass on the window. Let me know when I can hold my baby." I laugh again. This woman will not stop. I'm fed up. My pregnancy hormones are gone. My baby is here. We are moving away in a matter of weeks and she will never find us. If she thinks she has any power here, she is dead wrong. So I send one last message to her and say, "Okay, no window again. Maybe when she's 18 she will reach out to you." And blocked. This isn't the end of it, but I just wanted to read this comment here because I really agree with this. Hopefully the final sentence is true and that she's blocked. This relationship is toxic for whatever reason. I've also read some previous posts. But once a relationship has gone that way, it's either fix it or walk away. You have a new child, so put your energy into that. Don't spend any more on someone like that. I totally agree. If there's anyone out there suffering with toxic relationships, it's really difficult to know when you're in the situation. I've seen it firsthand and experienced it myself. It's really important to just step away. Sometimes not everyone is willing to put in the same effort that you are. You can't always fix things. And it's something that's really important to learn when you're growing up. You're not always able to fix everything, and that's a very difficult realization to come to at times. And I hope that they can recognize that it's toxic and get out. Update 3. I vaccinated my child. My mother is not happy about it. I currently don't speak to my mother, nor have I for many months now, but somehow she still finds ways to butt into my life and the decisions I make for my child. My husband and I both come from anti-vax families. His side is against it, but doesn't shame us for vaccinating our daughter. My mother, however, really has a lot to say about it. Since we were both raised to not believe in science, red flags right there, it was pretty natural for us to be against vaccinating our daughter when she was born. I had a home birth, so it was easy to avoid everything. We would lie to pediatricians about it, and just did what our parents did when we were kids. But since the new vaccine for COVID was released, I started to consider getting it and decided to do some actual research on vaccines as a whole. My husband and I made the decision to get vaccinated, as well as getting a schedule started for our 6-month-old baby to catch her up. We went in this morning to get her first shots. Everything went smoothly and so far she seems fine. She has been fussy and sleepier than usual, but the pediatrician said that's normal and will go away in a day or two. Fair. My god, the COVID vaccines. We left feeling proud that we were able to educate ourselves effectively and set our baby up for success. Then I get a call. It's my grandpa, or so I thought. I answer and the first thing I hear is, "When you wake up and she isn't breathing, you'll be sorry. I can't believe you did this to my little girl." I hang up and immediately start to panic. I eventually traced her back to a family member that is a doctor. I was asking her questions about vaccines and I told her we were going in today. I guess she told my grandpa how excited she was for us, and then he told my mum, and then boom, end of the world. My mother-in-law found out later and seemed supportive, given her opinion about vaccinations. She told us it's your decision, and I trust that whatever you do is best for her. So I'm glad we have her to help reassure us a bit. But now I've been getting texts and calls from my mum through my grandpa's phone, absolutely freaking out, saying that she hopes something happens to her so I will see the consequences of my actions. Also that she is praying for her, whatever that means. Ultimately, we are confident with our decision and will continue with her schedule. Although at times we do question if we made the right decision. I'm sure everything will be fine, but my mother seriously needs to chill out. This top comment reads, "What a horrible person. I hope something happens to your child just to try and prove her narrative. That's absolutely despicable." And I absolutely agree 100%. This next post is by Deranged Behemoth. EM calls the police on me for stealing her daughter, who is my girlfriend and an adult. Background. This happened about 5 years ago. My fiance and I have been together for 7 years this month. We're hoping to get married this year, but might postpone due to the circumstances. We were reminiscing some old stories yesterday when this one came up, and she suggested I share it. She was my girlfriend at the time, and at the time I was fully aware that her mum was a few fries short of a happy meal, but this was the pinnacle of her behaviour. Sorry for the length, but I hope you enjoy it. Cast. EM, entitled Mum. Girlfriend Ellie, PO police officer, OP me. Story. Ellie and I weren't living together at the time. She just stayed over from time to time when she could. I took her home after she had been staying with me for a couple days and was heading to work. But shortly after, just before getting to work, I get a phone call from her and I can tell she is in tears. Apparently when she got inside, EM immediately blew up on her about being gone for so long, even though it was only 2 days, and she told EM she was going to be gone and kept in contact with her while she was gone. But Ellie sorta just brushed it off and went to her room. EM's house was pretty much your stereotypical crazy cat lady house. House badly decaying, cats all over the place, going to the bathroom in random places and whatnot. And when Ellie gets to her room, she realizes while she was gone, the cats peed and essed all over a pile of her clean clothes. But whatever, Ellie decides to just bag them up and she would wash them next time she came to my place. Her mum didn't have a functioning washer at the time, and apparently that really set EM off. EM apparently thought Ellie was bagging her clothes because she was planning to go back to my place that night, stay another few days. So she stomped into her room, grabbed the bag, ripped it open and flung the clothes all over the room along with the cat S and P while screaming at Ellie that she's not going anywhere. That's when Ellie ran outside and called me. She was so upset and didn't know what to do. Her mum had been doing crazy stuff to Ellie since I'd been with her, but up until I just helped her wherever, I could while not getting involved and not saying a word to her mum. I told her to go ahead and get the things she needs and I'll take her to my place. She said she would love that. I told my work I was going to be late due to an emergency and turned around to go pick her up. When I pulled back up to the house, Ellie was in the driveway crying. I went and hugged her, told her it was going to be okay and that she could stay with me as long as she wanted. So she went back inside to get her things. As I was standing outside waiting, I heard the door open again and went to help Ellie with her things. Uh-oh, it's her mum. EM comes stomping out with her hair crazy and frizzled and an old nightgown. She beelines for me and gets right in my face. EM with an extremely thick, high-pitched southern accent. My daughter said I need to come out here and ask what you think of me. I knew that was a blatant lie, as Ellie would never instigate this. You got something to say, huh? You think I'm trash, don't you, huh? That's what you think, isn't it? Again, up until now, I'd completely kept my mouth shut and I was trying to maintain that. But this woman was up in my face, freaking out, and was tormenting the woman I loved. So I finally looked at her and broke my silence. Why do you treat her like this? Gasp. What do you mean? That's my daughter and I worship the ground she walks on. Oh really? So calling her an S, B, C, and W is worship? Yes, I've heard her say this with my own ears. I would never say something like that. BS! I've heard you say it! You get your effing ass off my property! Okay, I almost never find myself in situations like this, so I'm not used to that. I say that because after she said this, I pretty much saw red. I'm not proud of it, but I just started shouting every curse word in the book I could possibly think of at the top of my lungs while she went back in the house. But thankfully, that only lasted a few seconds and I immediately calmed down. So finally, Ellie comes back out with her stuff, we put it in the car and I assume it's over. But Ellie turns to me and says, I'm sorry, but we can't leave yet. Why not? Mum called the cops. I sort of had a feeling that would happen, no big deal, so we just sat and waited for the cop to arrive. After about 10 minutes or so, a cop car pulls up. Right when he does, EM comes out of the house and oh my god, yes, she was doing exactly what you think. She instantly puts on the fragile, brittle old lady act, hunched over, walking slowly the whole gig. And of course, when PO asks her what happened, she has to pitch her entire medical chart to the guy. Ellie will tell you this woman has been terminally ill for 12 years, lol. So when she finally gets done trying to milk this poor guy for sympathy, she tells her version of what happened. EM, Sir, he came onto my property and verbally attacked me. He's awful to me, sir, and I have never done anything to him. He's turned my daughter against me and is trying to convince her to leave. At first, he seemed somewhat sympathetic to her until he turns to Ellie. Ma'am, is this your boyfriend? Yes, sir. Okay, and how old are you? Sir, I'm 23. This was my favourite part because the officer looked up from his notepad with a look of, wait, what? Obviously he was thinking Ellie was a minor or something based off how EM was acting, but quickly realised just what he was dealing with. Eventually he turns to me. Okay, sir, please give me your version of what happened. I did so. Funny side note, at one point PO looks up at me and says, You look familiar. Do I know you? It actually turned out the PO and I had gone to high school together. Once we recognised each other, we laughed and shook hands very briefly. This was hilarious because out of the corner of my eye, I see EM has a big scowl on her face and she sees me getting friendly with PO, but anyway, PO puts his notepad away and turns to me. Just FYI, he says the following with this heavy tone of, I know that you are fully aware of this and don't believe you're in the wrong at all, but I have to say this as a formality. Well, OP, she doesn't want you on the property. So be aware that if you come back here, you technically can be charged with trespassing. Do you understand this as I've explained it? Absolutely, sir. EM, but sir, I want to press charges. He didn't do anything illegal, ma'am. But he verbally assaulted me. I understand that, and while that was ill-advised, he slightly turns to me and gives me a small gesture with his hand and I nod in agreement. It's not something I could arrest him for. He agrees he will not come back on your property without your direct permission. Ugh. Okay. Fine, whatever. Ellie, come back inside. What? No. You heard PO. OP is leaving and you're staying here. Whoa, ma'am. I didn't say that at all. But... Your daughter is not a child, ma'am. She is a full-grown adult. She has every right to go wherever she wants. I'm her mother. She lives under my roof. I told her she needs to stay here, so she needs to stay. No, ma'am, that's not how it works. If she wants to go stay with her boyfriend, there is absolutely nothing you can do to stop her. EM starts the fake crocodile tears and stomps in the house in defeat. Ellie and I thanked the officer, got in the car and left. We've been living together ever since. So that's like the good ending of the previous story we read. I must say, not many stories end that way. Very refreshing to hear that sort of ending. And with that, I think that's going to be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stories in r/EntitledParents. Let me know what you'd like to listen to next in the comment section below. And also, hit that subscribe button because I post new Reddit content every single day. There are 2 videos on the screen, one of which is for the most recent video, and another is for a video the YouTube algorithm thinks you'll want to watch next. My name is Trey, this was Reload Reacts, and I will see you in the next video.